Two tools. Two tools. Two tools. No clue!
Hey everybody, welcome to Two Tools, No Clue podcast. I'm Jeidan,
And I'm Anna.
and today we have no clue about jams and jellies.
Ooh.
And I guess by technicality, marmalades too.
Oh, interesting.
So I guess before we dive into it, we should maybe talk about what's going on around the homestead.
What's going on?
Okay, well, it currently is definitely still snowing.
Still snowing.
It's been snowing since yesterday, and it hasn't stopped. Okay, maybe it stopped briefly, but it is snowing again. We're looking at it right now.
What did you say we were at? 14 and what?
14.62 or something like that
Inches.
inches. Yep.
Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but if you can, that is our personal plow guy,
Oh, yep.
Lucas, out there doing his rounds.
Up and running. Hallelujah. Yeah.
She's looking right at me.
Knock on wood. She's trying to behave. Stevie is our producer. I believe we've already told you all about her.
I'm sure you've heard her.
She's our Black Lab German Shepherd pup. She's not really a pup, though.
She's almost 6 years old
Yep,
this year.
she's going to be 6 this year. And she's looking at us with sad eyes, trying to behave right now on her bed. So, yay, Stevie, for behaving.
We just went snowshoeing
Yeah,
for like 45 minutes, so
yeah, we're all pretty
she should
pooped
be
right now.
tired. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We have a trail on our property. Super blessed to have the acreage that we do. A good portion of it is kind of the woods area that surrounds our home. It keeps us nice and secluded, but it also gave us the opportunity for a walking path for us, especially for Stevie. It was one of the first projects that we completed on the homestead, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Anna went out there with a rake,
Mhm.
a rake, and raked the whole thing. It's about a mile long.
Yeah. It's a quarter of a mile.
Oh,
You have to walk it 4 times to
4
walk a
times to
mile.
be a mile. Sorry. Okay, so a quarter of a mile
But
long.
when we first raked it, it was incredibly tough to get through that dense layer of
It was,
leaves
yeah.
to the bottom of to the actual ground, to the point where we went over to our friend's house after we did a big chunk of the raking, and I could barely move my arms.
I forgot
I was
about
in
that.
so much
It was
pain.
a
I've
lot of work
I've
too.
never felt like that before, like I pushed it too hard.
And we only have one rake.
Yeah.
So we were taking turns, but it was a lot of work, and like a quarter of a mile doesn't seem that long, but it is a really nice walk.
Yeah.
We usually do it like at least once a day with Stevie so that, we all get a little stretch. Stevie gets her stretch, and it's nice and secluded, so she's off the leash. We don't have to worry about anybody.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's really cool to go snowshoeing on as well. We did a little bit of off trail adventuring as well. I ate shit, and then Stevie decided to come help me, which actually just covered me completely in fresh powder. So
Just
it was
shoved snow straight in your face.
right in my face. I instantly looked like Santa Claus. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. But that's probably why she's being actually quiet, because she's exhausted, and so
Yeah.
are we.
Hopefully it stays
Yeah.
that way.
Oh, well, we'll see.
Jay's doing his notes on his iPad today because he's
Yes.
fancy.
The pieces of paper stressed me out last time, and I feel like I messed up, but that's okay.
We have no clue what we're doing.
Yeah, we have no clue what we're doing. Another thing that we got done over the weekend is we got a new desktop computer when I was
Hey, hey.
editing. I honestly don't know how old that computer was.
I got that computer for either Christmas or my birthday because my birthday is 4 days away from Christmas, so I
Yep.
can never remember which. But probably when I was like 15.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it's like
I'm not
13
gonna
years
age you
old.
out. Yeah. Okay. Yikes. Okay. Well, it lasted. But yeah. So we upgraded. Still fairly basic, but it's newer, so it's working very well. I'm excited to do some editing later on it. And then we're still trying to figure out these mics. Obviously, last week we had these completely ass backwards. But yeah, so we're just trying to
We're
figure
doing our best.
two two tools,
No clue.
0 clue.
Negative clue.
But yeah, so I guess that's what's really been going on. Can you think of anything else?
No.
Okay, well, Jaiden's findings of the week begins, I guess.
Jams and jellies,
Yep.
your specialty.
I will start with that really quick. I love making jams and jellies. So much that when we caught Miss Jam Jam, as you can tell, I said, "Okay, Anna, we can keep this cat, but her name is gonna be Jam."
Because it was the start of jam
Because
season.
it was the start of jam season, and I was getting my jam on, and
We were inspired.
we were inspired, and we actually would call her Jam Jam
Jammy
because
jam.
and Jammy Jam because she's well cray cray, in a
Mhm.
good way, like jungle kitty way.
Well, I was like, "Are we sure we don't wanna name her Bam Bam?
Yeah,
Like
so then
the
we Jam
Flintstones?"
Jam.
But no.
She
Yeah.
used to ping around the walls everywhere.
It fits.
She was very feral at one point, but now she's a cutie pie.
And we're talking about if we kept the stray kitten that we caught, we would name it either Jelly
Or
or Marmalade.
Marmalade. But
'Cause
I
they're
don't
sisters.
yeah, they're related somehow, some way. Gotta be at least cousins, but sisters from another misters, maybe, I think, is what's going on there.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, already sidetracked, that's fine. We're gonna start with the first jam recipe. So
Ooh.
the first jam recipe was written in the first known cookbook, De Re Coquinaria, The Art
Wow.
of Cooking. It's attributed to Marcus Gavius Apicius, believed to be fake name.
Oh,
Yeah, I think he just picked it up. He picked it, but whatever. People
what
didn't.
language is that?
Well, he comes from Rome, so
Like Latin?
yeah, Latin back then. I'm guessing. The book contains over 500 recipes, many using Indian spices, as well as a recipe for soft fruit heated with honey. The
Ooh, that sounds
mixture,
good.
it's the jam. The mixture was then cooled and stored to create one of the earliest recorded forms of jam. This early type of jam was often served as a delicacy at the end of a meal. So it was like a
Mm,
dessert.
just by itself?
Yeah.
Just a bowl of jam?
Mm, I just, I think it's so funny because back then, like, people really did not eat that much.
That is true,
Like,
yeah.
and I was like 2 tablespoons of jam would be dessert. Could you imagine? No offense, America. Could you imagine giving any American 2 tablespoons of any type of jam as their dessert? Nothing else.
The only place that happens, I feel like, is those super fancy restaurants where you get, like, a teeny tiny dish, but you get, like, 20 of
And that's
them.
what it was, right? Like these kings and queens would be like, look what I can make and preserve. Like, eat this. So,
My
yeah,
favorite thing to think about is, like, only royalty could wear the color purple back in the day, but now anyone can wear the
yeah,
color purple. So I like to
cheap.
be like, I'm like royalty
Yeah,
sometimes. I get to sleep in a very comfortable bed.
exactly.
Like
Yeah, king size.
when I'm feeling down about my life, I like to pick myself up by looking around and being like, only royalty could have what I have right now.
Well, next time, just have 2 tablespoons of jam
Yeah.
or jelly, and you will be royalty, let me tell you.
Yum yum.
Yeah, so marmalade. The first marmalade is believed to have been invented in 1561 by the physician to Mary Queen of Scots. Hey, Scotland.
Oh.
Love us going in jam.
Why? Why was it
He
invented?
used crushed oranges and sugar as a remedy for her seasickness.
Interesting.
Which I'm like, this
What makes it
what?
different than jelly?
We're gonna get
Okay.
into that, don't worry. Although the earlier book by Nostradamus also includes a recipe for candied orange peel. So there's like an earlier recipe
The whole
from like,
peel?
yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Mm.
From
I
like,
don't know how I feel about that.
me either. But like a, like we were talking about in the the first episode, people really did use everything. And that's a
Yeah,
big part of
that is
homesteading
true.
to me. Getting back to using everything that if you're not even if you're not, growing it when you purchase something, you use everything.
Mhm.
That's all.
Yeah. Well, I just recently saw a video about how you make lemon pepper peppercorn or something like
Okay.
that,
Yeah.
and you take the peel of the lemon, but you use, like, the inside of it, and it's called something specific. So I didn't know if it was that
Interesting.
or if it was the whole
Is
thing. So
that brine? No.
it's
Well,
like the very inner flesh of the
yeah.
peel,
Yeah. That's
the
interesting.
the the
Like that
bit that
white stuff.
touches the
Yeah.
lemon itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
The super
I don't
smelly
know what it's
part.
called, but
That's very
yeah.
interesting.
But you're saying it's the whole peel that they're candying.
Yeah, the whole
Ooh,
thing.
interesting. This seems bitter.
I know. Seasickness be like that, I guess.
I mean, if you're sick, you're sick. You'll try anything.
So we talked about my homeland, Scotland. Now we're gonna come to America. Jam in America.
Mhm.
John Chapman, nicknamed Johnny Appleseed.
Oh, Lord.
I
Is he a real guy?
I guess so,
Oh, okay.
apparently. Listen to this. Was one
I don't believe
pioneer who helped
anything they
bring
told us back in the
well,
day.
I I feel like the story that they
I keep
told,
saying back in the day
us
like I'm
yeah,
60 years old.
you're not there yet, Anna, don't worry. Um, but I feel like the story we have of him is, like, not this one,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, John Chapman, nicknamed Johnny Appleseed, was one pioneer who helped to bring jam to the USA. He planted apple trees throughout large parts of the Midwest during the 1800s with the hope that people would make their own ciders and preserves.
So that's true? I thought
Yeah,
that wasn't true.
no, that was
I thought
true.
that was a myth.
No, that's real. I read
Okay.
so many different articles about it because I was like,
Okay.
"What is this bullshit right now?"
I don't know what to believe
Anyway,
anymore.
Jerome Monroe Smucker from Ohio, who was just one person to do so, he opened a cider mill, Smucker,
Wait, when is this?
in
Wow,
1897.
he got right on
From
it.
Ohio, was just one person to do so, and he opened a cider mill in 1897 with fruit from trees that Chapman had planted. After a few years, he and his wife began to make apple butter, a type of sweet applesauce made using sugar. I've made that.
Mhm.
I love apple butter. It's so good.
And it's
Honestly,
not
maple
actually
butter,
butter.
apple butter. No,
I
it's
thought it
apples.
was like you melt down the butter and then you add your little, like, concoction of muddled apples or whatever, but there's no butter
No butter.
involved in
Yeah,
apple
all
and fruit
apples.
butter
Yeah,
in general.
all apples. I think it's better. I love it. Um, so he and his wife began to make apple butter, which she sold from a horse-drawn wagon. In
Cute.
1918, the
Good for
American
her.
company, yeah, honestly,
Gotta
go
do what you
get
gotta
it.
do.
Yeah. In 1918, the American company Welch's began producing its first jam product, Grapealade.
Mm.
The entire inventory was bought by the U.S. Army and shipped to troops during the First World War, and soldiers demanded more of the product upon returning, and that's really the only reason that it stuck around.
Grape sounds like a drink.
Yeah, but it was jam. In
Jam
1923,
and not
Welch's
jelly?
launched. It's not yet ready. In
Okay.
1923, Welch's launched its Concord grape jelly, which is still available today.
Wow.
But it was because of the troops where they came back and they were like, "Where the hell is the Grape-Aid?
I love that shit.
Where is it? Like, take care of your
Wow.
troop." Yeah, so I just think that's really cool.
Is it the same recipe or have they changed it since? I'm sure they've changed
Well,
it.
I'm not. I feel like maybe they've changed it. Recipes have changed like so much.
Yeah.
I doubt it's the same recipe since 1923, but who knows? I don't know. I don't know Welch's life. Um, but yeah, I thought that was really cool. I started to read about the histories. of jams and preserves
Mm.
on freshways.co.uk.
Oh.
Yep. It had a lot of history I didn't know. I'm always impressed when I learn why or how products have come to be, or how they got popular, which is why I was like, the army. Okay.
Yeah.
Right? And what I learned next, I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, actually the army
Like when I
for
found
real."
out about Uncle Sam and how he's named that. You know that story?
I don't know.
The food crate. So the military's food crates.
Yeah.
The food crates would show up and on it would say USAM, USA military. And so they would joke, Uncle Sam is
That's
sending
too
us food.
funny. Okay.
So that's where Uncle Sam came from.
That's actually, really funny. Yeah, the army, dude, like, just a bunch of random stuff comes from it. Jam, just in general, came from, like, rations for soldiers. Several points.
Okay.
Okay? Napoleon being one of the first ones, okay?
Ooh.
So, Napoleon Bonaparte and preservation. Like, all you think of anyway, okay, you just think about this little crazy man
And
when
war.
in war and how good at killing he was people, but really, one of the things that he was really good at was, like, taking care of an army,
Oh,
and preservation
interesting.
was one of them, like, genuine preserves, okay? So, let's listen to
Huh.
this. While jam remained popular amongst the upper classes, large-scale production of jam and preserves wasn't possible until the discovery of pasteurization. Believe it or not, we can partly thank the French military leader Napoleon Bonaparte for the widespread production of jam. In 1785, Napoleon offered a reward to anyone who would find a way to preserve large quantities of food for soldiers on the move.
I thought you said jam was already a thing by now.
It was, but they couldn't preserve it for a really long time, and that's
Oh,
why it was for fancy folk,
gotcha.
because
Gotcha.
they didn't care. You know, they would eat it and like it didn't matter how because sugar like and sugar was hard to come by.
Hmm.
So but yeah, so in 1785 Napoleon offered a reward to anyone who could find a way to preserve large quantities of food for soldiers on the move. Inventor Nicholas Appert was the winner. He discovered,
Ah.
yeah, he did the damn thing. He discovered that boiling food at high temperatures and sealing it in an airtight container kept it safe.
Boiling it in the jar
Yeah, like what
like
we
we
do.
do.
Yeah, canning, as
Mm.
we know it. Really, really, he's known as the father of canning,
Wow. What's his
and
name?
his name is Nicholas Appert.
A parrot.
Yes, I don't know if I'm
Thanks,
saying that
Nick.
right. Yeah, thank you, Nicholas. But yeah, he's known as the father of canning, and his methods allowed all different types of food to be safely preserved in containers. These findings were then built upon by Louis Pasteur, who would go on to develop pasteurization in the next century. So I can preserve my blueberry jam because of him. I can
That's
definitely
awesome.
appreciate that. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So I know you were asking earlier what the difference is between all of these three things, so that's what we're gonna go over now.
Heck yeah. Tell
So
me. Tell me it all.
what's in
The
jam,
dirty deets.
jelly, and marmalade? To answer this question, I use another website. You need to look at this website too because I got lost in this for a very long time. I found a lot of helpful information for some of my other um ones that I just started researching right now as
Is it
well.
that geographic whatever? Yeah.
GeoJangle? No, it's not GeoJangle, but I
Geojangle.
still recommend GeoJangle to anybody who's just a curious being, okay? Like Anna's making fun of me, but she's gonna go on there and be like, "Did you know?" Anyway, so this is called masterclass.com. Uh
Oh, like I've been getting ads on Instagram for and like
Go on
famous
there.
people
Go on there.
do classes.
Yes,
I didn't
because
know they
there's a
had
lot
free
of free ones.
information.
There's a lot of free ones,
Interesting.
and this is where I got this article from.
Wow.
So yeah. And by the way, I'm not getting paid to tell you to go onto any of these websites. I'm just finding them and I want you
Yeah.
to look at
We
them.
currently have no sponsors.
But GeoJangle, if you want to sponsor me, I love
Geojangle,
you.
please.
Masterclass. I'm not a
Please.
master, but
I'll take your
I'm here,
classes.
whatever. Anyway, So one of the classes that they have is what's the difference between jam, jelly, and marmalade. So here we are.
Cool.
Okay. So jam is typically made from chunks of fruit, chopped or crushed. So, that's what we do with our berries. Honestly, we don't even really have to crush them up. Well, technically we do, but not before we put them in the pot.
Mm-hmm.
They simmer, and then I have a crusher that I use just to crush them lightly. But for the most part, our berries stay whole,
Mm-hmm.
which is why it's considered a jam, not a jelly.
Okay.
Yep. Well, one of the reasons, because there's whole fruit going in there. So it's cooked with sugar until the fruit reduces down and thickens to a spreadable consistency. Berries, grapes, and other small fruits are typically used, as well as the larger cut up stone fruits like apricots, peaches, and plums. And mangoes. We've done mangoes before.
Ooh.
Jelly is the rigid cousin to jam.
The rigid cousin.
Just as sweet.
He's like grumpy.
Yeah, but just as sweet, but firm, smooth,
Oh,
and
tough love.
gelatinous, right? Because
Jelly's
it's not,
Jelly's all about that tough
yeah,
love.
it's like, it's not crunchy peanut butter. It's a smooth peanut butter,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's often made from fruit juice that isn't suitable for jam, but it doesn't contain enough like natural pectin, so it often needs like more pectin than
Okay.
jam to actually make it, so that it you know makes it real. Um,
So basically, jelly is jam that's not chunky.
yeah, it's like the juice.
Okay.
Yeah, so like okay,
You like
a good
strain it?
example of this, right? Like when we make our apple cider jelly,
Yeah.
that's not made by us crushing up apples, and then
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like it's apple cider
So
already, so it is a juice.
so I know jelly to be like that because we made the violet jelly
Exactly. Yes. Yep.
in which where we had to steep
Yep.
the violet petals like
Mhm.
tea in water in a mason jar
Yep.
before, then use it, straining out all the petals and just using the leftover water.
Yeah.
But how would you make blueberry jelly? Would
It
you
would
just
be
have to
by like pressing them. Yeah.
strain it?
Yeah. So like if you were straining blueberries for whatever reason, that's what would happen.
Okay.
Um, I think sometimes people maybe crush them beforehand so that they can make both.
Okay.
But I
Should we be doing that?
no, not at all. I think blueberries are always going to be blueberry jam. If you're making blueberry jelly, I think that's weird.
Is there grape jam or is there only grape jelly?
No, there's grape jam with grapes. There's more seeds, so you do have to strain it. So I think that's why it ends up a jelly, because it does end up being the juices that they jam. I've never made grape jelly, but I think that's what it would be like. I don't know.
Well, we have those wild Concord grapes growing off to the side of our house here. They're
That
not
is
very good
true.
though. They're very seedy, very small, and they
And
taste like cough
very
syrup.
high up. They're for the bats. Okay, so but last but not least, a marmalade is a fruit preserve made from citrus fruits. The fruit, including the peel, is
Citrus
simmered.
only.
Yep, and it's including the peel.
Gotcha.
So like those fancy ones that you see with like little bits floating in it, that's marmalade. Is simmered to a boiling water
Oh,
until soft, then cooked with sugar to thicken. The end result can be lightly textured or gelatinous with larger chunks of rind throughout. The best types of fruit to make marmalade include orange, grapefruit, lemons, and kumquats. Yep.
kumquats. I love that
It's
word.
also I will also say that marmalades are usually like not fully bitter, but they have like a hint of
Oh,
bitterness just because like the peels are in there, the rinds are in there.
I don't know if I've ever had a marmalade.
But
I wrote a poem titled Marmalade, but I don't think I've
well, I
ever
guess we'd
actually
have to
eaten it.
have some. We can make some. So what is the difference between jam, jelly, and marmalade? think of jam, jelly, and marmalade as members of the same family,
Mhm.
all related but a little different. All
One's
of them
grumpy.
are made by heating fruit with sugar, which causes the fruit to lose liquid, and the natural pectin releases the fruits to make it thick. The
Okay.
jams and jellies to make it to firm up.
Mhm.
The difference between each depends on how much fruit is left in the final product. Is really at the end of the day. So jam has a lot. Jelly has none. It's only the fruit juice and the sugar that it's made of.
Okay.
Okay. Like
Gotcha.
how we steeped, how you were saying how we steeped it, but by the end of it, there were no petals in there.
Yeah, no.
That would be
But some
gross.
people were like, "Oh, you should have left them in for, like, aesthetic purposes." And I was like, "I don't know
I
about
don't think
that."
they understand. That would not.
I've seen that. I feel like maybe we should try that when we do the dandelion jelly,
Yeah, like
just
maybe
because
we
the
could sugar
petals are a
some
lot
petals or
smaller.
something.
So it would be like the marmalade where it's just kinda, like, speckled in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Okay, maybe we could try that.
Last year, we almost were able
Mhm.
to do the dandelion jelly, but I got all the dandelions. I literally spent, like, an hour going around our yard picking all the frickin' dandelions, and I didn't realize that you can't use any of the green. You have
Yeah.
to discard all that, and you have to, like, pull the tufts of yellow petals out of the flower. So I am
No, for next
steeping
year. Yeah.
everything all in one,
Yeah.
and so I couldn't use it, but I ended up using the water as fertilizer for
Yeah.
my indoor plants.
Yeah, that was a good idea. I don't really know if it was helpful, but I mean, always good to use it
Yeah,
for something and then
this
pour it
year,
out.
I'm gonna do it right
There you go.
because I love dandelion jelly. It tastes like honey
And
if you do it right.
I'm excited to make more violet jelly.
Yeah, that was good
That was
too. That was
delicious.
like it had like a mixed berry
Yeah,
flavor.
exactly. Mixed like
Very
you know
light.
those mixed fruit spreads that you get in like the little packets when you go to diners?
Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah,
reminded
not
me of.
that strong though. It was a
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
muted
Yeah.
flavor.
So yeah, that's what I have
Mm,
about jams, jellies,
heck
and
yeah.
marmalades.
Good job, Bethany.
Thank you. So I only have a few questions for the end.
Oh,
Um, it's really just two questions. I think there's two very important questions when it comes to this topic.
okay.
Which do you prefer?
Oh,
Jam, jelly,
oh,
or marmalade?
this reminds me, I had a question for you.
Okay.
What then is considered cranberry sauce? What is cranberry sauce considered? Because you got the chunky cranberry
I think
sauce
it's
or the
dependent on,
one that's shaped like a can.
well, to be honest, cranberry sauce is a whole other
Mm, but it's kinda like
thing.
jelly. I'm sure you could spread it like
Yeah, but
jelly.
I bet like technically, okay, it would be cranberry jam if you're making it with the whole
Oh,
berries,
true. I wonder what the
and then it would
difference
be
is.
cranberry jelly if you're
So why
making
is
it
it
with just
sauce?
juice.
What makes it sauce?
I think people are just weird about it.
I'll have to do my own deep dive.
Yeah, and I think there's like extra ingredients that get added to it because you can make a cranberry jam, but I feel like it's the same. And again, I'm not a cranberry person. I can eat my turkey dinner without it.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying yeah for you. I'm obsessed with
Yeah,
cranberry
so I'm
sauce.
really not the one to talk about it, but like that's what
That's why
I
I'm bringing it
that's
up.
what I think.
That's why I came
It
because
depends
I love it.
how you're making it.
Okay. Well then between the 3, I've never had marmalade, and I am not always a chunk person.
Yeah.
So I'd say jelly.
Okay. I'm a jam man. I love me some jam.
You like chunks?
Yeah. I want to know it's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's real.
So okay, and the second important question. What is your favorite flavor of jelly? Because you like jelly the best.
I think just grape jelly, if I'm being honest. I was gonna say blueberry, but then that's blueberry jam. I like to make PB&Js, but use blueberry jam instead of
Yeah,
grape jelly.
that is very
So I
good.
guess I'm all over the board.
Okay, so grape jelly is your favorite, and then blueberry jam.
Yeah.
Okay, I would go with that too. I would say blueberry jam, and then for jelly, I would probably say like strawberry.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yummy. Not
strawberry.
strawberry jam?
I like strawberry jam too,
Mhm.
but like when we go out, to a diner, it's usually
Oh,
like the mixed
yeah.
mixed fruit one. It's like kind of tastes like apples, but or strawberry is what I'm hoping for. So yeah,
Heck
that's
yeah.
that's what we got for this week. I'm excited to keep doing this with you guys.
Yeah. Once again, thanks for hanging in there with us. I feel
Yeah,
like every episode we get a little bit more secure with what we're doing here.
yeah. I'm not all over the place. The first
Yeah.
episode, I had literally no idea what I was even
You're
saying.
doing great.
Thanks.
I think you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you. I think you're doing a great job.
Thanks. We're using our microphones correctly this time.
Yep,
Hopefully it sounds that way.
I hope so. I think right now it sounds good. Like I have one plugged in, but it's like hard to tell right off of this.
Heck yeah.
So yeah,
We'll hit those socials one more time. So
yep,
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can follow us at Two Tools No Clue Podcast. TikTok is at Two Tools No Clue. You can subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Two Tools No Clue. And you can email us with your stories, your constructive criticisms,
yep,
your topic ideas,
yeah, definitely topic
just your
ideas.
comments in general, anything. You
Yeah,
can send us that at Two Tools No Clue Podcast at gmail.com.
heck yeah.
All right, we'll catch you next time, guys.
Stay safe out there.
Bye.
Bye.
Two tools. Two tools. Two tools. No!